Good morning and welcome to Bullets and Brass. Today we are doing 1911s. So that is I was going to say Colt, but it's really the Browning 1911. And the reason I say that is because Colt, well, one of the original manufacturers and kind of the company that brought it to market for the government, has not been a major producer in decades. And to be honest, probably represents a very small percentage of total 1911s that have been made. And I'm not going to get into the whole history. If you want to go in depth down that rabbit hole, go check out Ian's channel, Forgotten Weapons, and he lays it out wonderfully. He goes into the whole history much better than I could. I'm not a history aficionado for the 1911. I kind of look at it as a practical modern tool that to some extent has been superseded, but still has its place. What is it about the 1911? For example, we have a full-size SIG P320 versus a full-size 1911. Now, these are similarly sized pistols. There's nothing drastically different. Let's see if I can get a good head-on view here. It isn't like the SIG is significantly fatter. It isn't like the SIG is longer, taller. What it is, however, is thicker right through here. And it's also not really a single action. This is a striker-fired, the SIG is a striker-fired pistol with a very nice trigger. Very short, very clean. It is not the same as a 1911. The 1911 trigger pretty much is what handgun triggers aspire to be when it comes to promoting rapid, accurate shooting. And if you have different scenarios, there are different triggers that make sense. You will see 1911s in the hands of most of the top shooters when they've got the option. These days it's starting to be replaced, but if you look back through history of IPSC, IDPA, any of the precision speed handgun sports, 1911s or a variation of them have been right up there the whole time. In fact, they kind of started the sport. That was kind of where it all began, is people tricking out 1911s and making them race guns. Because, to be honest, the original spec for these is not in that league. It is not the greatest trigger. It isn't the lightest trigger. Not the most accurate. But it had the capability. It was something that a gunsmith could work with and take that direction easily. Now, the things that matter here, the trigger pull, the ergonomics, because my finger comes straight across. Okay, so my finger comes straight across and I've got a very slight angle to get on that trigger. I've got a thumb safety, which, got to cock the hammer, is right there. Okay, right there. I can ride that thumb safety. When I put my other hand here, both fingers are pointed, both thumbs are pointed, and I'm on that safety. I can take that safety off, ride that safety, click, bang. The HK allows a single action mode, so hammer back, and I've got safety on. So I can drop the safety and have a very short single action trigger pull. But notice how far I can move that trigger to get there. Okay? That's a safety. That isn't a mechanical requirement. That's a safety. They're letting you know you're on the trigger, you've moved the trigger, nothing's happened yet. Last second, bang. But, okay, this is if it's in double action mode. You gotta pre-cock it just a tiny bit. Now, I've still got that movement, but I've got a long, stiff pole that stacks up at the end. That's a safety mechanism. The 1911, okay. Hammer back, safety off, angle there, okay. I've got a little tiny movement, right? Bang. Not a whole lot of pressure. If you know what you're doing, that can make for very accurate shots. It's very clean. If you want, you can machine out most of that initial play. These were drop-in components that I did a little tuning on, but you can get rid of most of that. And you can get rid of all of the extra movement. You can have it break and it moves like a 32nd of an inch and stops cold. I didn't do that on mine. I treated this as a project gun that mostly gets used at the range shooting 22s with a conversion slide, and I wasn't worried about super tuning it. So, what else about the 1911? It is an obsolete design. I'm a total fanboy, but it is an obsolete design. Now, what does that mean? It means that while it can do the job that it was originally designed to do, it can't do it as well as modern replacements for the same job. The job hasn't changed. There are modern firearms that do that exact job better. So, what is it about the 1911 that keeps it around, other than the cult following? It comes back to easy and comfortable to shoot. If you pick up a good 1911, you'll understand. They have a feel to them. They fit. If they don't, stop bothering. You're probably never going to find a 1911 you like. Find something else. But for a lot of us, that feel is good. It is correct. It is what happens when a designer like John Moses Browning does good work. And the SIG, to me, has that same kind of feel. It isn't the same feel, but when I put it in my hand, I said, ooh, that fits. That's comfy. That lines up my trigger finger right. There's a lot of things that lined up and felt good, which is why I own one. But for the 1911, you have this engineering masterpiece where everything, it's very minimalistic, I guess. There's very few parts. They all operate very simply. It is a very reliable design mechanically. Now, you'll see people who say, the 1911 jams all the time, needs a lot of maintenance, blah, blah, blah. These are all true. If you take a finely tuned, tight 1911 designed for precision accuracy, and you treat it like a combat handgun, it will jam. Modern firearms are much more reliable with less care. It doesn't make it less than it used to be. It simply means that somebody has come up with a better system for that role. What makes me hang on? Why do I stick with them? That fit. This slim profile right here makes it fit comfortable in your pants, between your belt and your body. This grip. Now, remember when we looked at these? So this grip is a little narrower and has a better taper. So if you're looking to conceal carry, these big rubber grips are not your best option. Now again, I'm not saying this is the current best choice. I'm saying that it's a wonderful firearm. I'm saying that if you're shooting for accuracy and speed, hard to beat. Yes, people are very fast and accurate with Glocks, SIGs, HKs, CZs, Springfields. But if you've got a good 1911, at the same skill level, the 1911 is probably going to win. So, 1911s, come in a lot of varieties. That's a 1911. That's a 1911. Side view here. This is a Springfield. This is a Kimber. There are literally hundreds, if not thousands, of companies making 1911s. Most gunsmiths that are worth anything can make you a 1911, not from scratch, so to speak, but they'll buy a frame and a slide in the style you want, finish them, match up all the other parts that you want, put it all together nicely. There you go. And it is not assembly. It isn't like an AR-15. When you put together a 1911, there's going to be some fitting involved. Sorry. There is gunsmithing to be done. Even if you buy supposedly drop-in parts, there's some gunsmithing involved to make it all work. Or you can have a piece of shit, to be honest. I mean, you can get drop-in parts that will just drop in, and it'll all be loose and blah, and you lose what makes the 1911 wonderful. These days, you can buy 1911s that are designed for heavy-duty field use. They are slides. Mine doesn't actually make noise, but it does move. A little side-to-side play. In fact, you can get some that rattle. 2, the Kimber, that does not move. Okay? If you get dirt and dust in the rails, this is likely to gum up. Then you have the SIG. I hope you can hear that. Okay? Other than my hand moving on the stippling, it doesn't make any noise. This made noise. They come in a variety of styles in terms of that. Now you can get them these days with rails, full-length dust covers. You can get them with front checkering for the slide. So if you want to have slide cutouts here as well as back here, no problem. Different sights. I mean, basically, if you can imagine a customization you would do, somebody offers it on a 1911, and they probably offer it from the factory with every other customization you want. We're all familiar, or at least most of us are familiar with all the aftermarket stuff for Glocks. That is an entire industry dedicated to making a modern pistol as adaptable and flexible as the 1911 is. The difference is that most of it on a 1911 requires a gunsmith. Most of it on the Glock requires a few minutes with a screwdriver or a little spacer or something to that effect. You can do most of it at home. The 1911 most of the time required a trip to a good gunsmith. And yes, as much as I would like to say, support your gunsmith, that is an improvement in modern design. But the end result is never as nice. It can be great. It can never be as nice. And I say that as somebody who loves the modern designs. I think they're wonderful. There's something truly magical about a really good 1911 set up the way you want. So, I rambled on enough. I needed a video for this weekend. I'm trying out a new editing system. I got a new computer for editing and new software. We're going to try this out. And I'm going to get this posted. And we will see where we're at. I'm not hopeful for a shooting video today or tomorrow. I thought I was going to be able to this weekend. It's cold enough. My house's heat is not keeping up. It was colder on the thermostat this morning than what it was set to. So, not holding my breath that I will get shooting. Sorry guys, I'm just not that gung-ho about it. You can wait for the video. But we do have additional ammo for the What Would Stoner Do barrel test. I got some more military style ammo. I'm not going to really say it's mil spec. I don't know for sure if Privy Partisan does exactly mil spec or if it's just close. But they're calling it M885 or 855. I don't remember. I never use it. And then M193. And then I got a box of Federal XM193. No, it's the 62 grain. It's the XM885 or 855, whatever. To go with all the match grade and the Tula. So we've got a better range now. We don't jump straight from bottom of the barrel to match grade. We've got some stuff a little more in the middle, and the two most common weights. I only had one option for 55 grain before for testing, and that was a hunting round that was kind of an anomaly in the set anyway. So, that said, take care, have fun, stay safe, y'all, and shoot what you like. I like 1911s, I like SIGs, I like my HK, I like my J-frame revolver. Shoot whatever works for you.